previous video, we looked at custom ways to create your own rule. We created 2 rules, which is querying less amount of data credit score from this credit score API, which is less than 2, and another rule for more queries, which is greater than or equal to 3. Now let's take a look at other ways to create a new rule. So let's select another API from the list that we had shortlisted previously. So let's go to account detail. In this one, I just want to select a simple rule that says that it returns a valid 200 response. So let's name the rule accordingly. I can go to the templates. Here I get a lot of templates that I can choose from. Here I also have a template called validated 200. I can click on plus and click on save. This is one of my rules. Now let's go to the apply loan API. Here, since this is a really important one, I want to make sure that the request is properly validated. They are not sending any garbage data. And since the request is a comprehensive one, I have given a proper rule name and a summary that describes how the rule performs, and click on save. I can again go to the template and validate response. So this gives me a template which first checks whether it's present, response body.loan is present, and other aspects are also present. This way I'm ensuring that the response of the loan is valid, and every time I'm giving the application response, I only charge my partner based on valid responses. Next, I can go to check loan status. Here, let's create a rule based on the status of the rule. Imagine if somebody is checking and only for active loan status, I'm charging them. So I have given again a similar descriptive name and description, and here I can go on the design of this loan status API. If I go here, I can see that based on various aspects of this API structure, I can define a rule. So in this case, for this loan check status API, I only want to charge certain amount to the partner if the loan status is active, and we don't want to charge them if the loan status is inactive. So I can go to the response body and validate the rule criteria specifically on this field, which is in the response body of this API. This is a really powerful way to define and charge your partners or consumers. So now that I have defined that it's equals to active, this rules enables me to charge them only for the active statuses of the loan, and I can click on save. Now that I have defined all the metering rules, I get to select the rate plan which will be applied every time that criteria is selected. So if you remember, for account details, we had a rule called validate response, which is response for 200. And that's the reason why descriptions are very important, because it helps you decide what rate plan to select when you are looking at a rule. So here I can click on simple rate card selection, and I can give them a unit rate and click on save. This step purely depends on your planning and business requirements. You can select different types of rate cards here. Apply for loan, which is a comprehensive validation of the response that I'm giving. So let's select here. For this one, let's say if I want to have a flat rate, which is nothing but a simple amount. We will go deep into the charging models in the next video. For now, let's select a flat rate in this case. Now, if you see, in previous video, we had 2 different rule sets for get credit score API. So let's define for the less query. So for less query, I can have a flat rate pricing. And for more query, I can have volume based, because it can be more than 3. It can be any amount. I can choose between a tier-based volume pricing or tier-based graduated pricing. The difference between the two is explained in the upcoming video in this series. So let's select a volumetric criteria for this one. So as we can see in this entire package, for the first API, we had select unit-based, which is based on each number of criteria and requests. Similarly, a flat rate for application of loan. Checking loan status is again unit-based. So if you see, the reason why APIwiz monetization is very powerful is because you can define various criteria and have different rate plans triggering for it. So in this case, for less query, I have just given a flat rate, but for anything more than 3 number of queries, I have given them a volume based pricing, which again increases if they are querying for 3 to 30, 30 to 1000, 1000 to even a million. You can define your volume rate and tiers, and for each tier you can have a different rate. So this way I have selected rate plans for each of them. Let's click on next. Now in this one, I will be able to review or edit any details of the package that I have created so far. I can see the access rules, the responses, select whatever resources are selected. I can see that the banking loan has 3 APIs that I had selected previously, these 3, and I can go back and edit and do the whole flow again. Metering rules for each of them, and a rate card, and I can see what rate card I selected for each of the metering rules. Now, once I am satisfied, I can click on save and continue. By default, this is the package that I have created. It will be in draft stage. Based on the role-based access, you will be able to see this change status. You'll be able to edit, clone, or delete it. So for people with appropriate access, they will see this change status option. They can click on it, select the status from draft to publish, put a commit message, and click on save. This way, I have published my monetization package. Here I see all the rest of the monetization package, the metered requests, consumers, APIs, and the other details. Please note that this is not just the number of requests, but the metered requests, which have satisfied the metering rules that I have defined inside it. So that's it for this one. In the next one, we'll see other details related to API monetization packages.